The culling grounds. The air smelled wrong. Lieutenant Aaron Voss crouched low in the thick underbrush, his pulse pounding in his ears. The twin suns of Varnock Prime burned low on the horizon, casting long, crimson shadows through the alien jungle. It should have been a peaceful survey mission on a neutral colony. Instead, he and 20 others had been ripped from their outpost without warning, drugged, caged, and dumped like livestock into what the captors had smugly called the culling grounds. They were being hunted. For sport. Aaron peered through a gap in the vegetation. 10 meters ahead, a massive, reptilian biped, its obsidian armor glinting with ceremonial etchings, dragged a limp body through the mud. The hunter, one of the elite Zarkari, grunted with satisfaction as it lifted the corpse, Rodriguez, one of Aaron's comms techs, and tossed him onto a bone-lace cart. Aaron's stomach twisted. This wasn't war. This wasn't survival. This was entertainment. The Zarkari had evolved past need and morality. Their ruling caste indulged in blood rituals, televised slaughters, and live prey hunts to remind their vassals who ruled the stars. And humans, it seemed, had just become the latest exotic challenge. He tapped his wrist link, useless for off-world comms, but he had hardwired it to a personal emergency beacon. A faint green pulse blinked. The signal was weak, but it was out there now, cycling on a loop. With luck, anyone would pick it up. Behind him, Mara, a civilian nurse from New Kyoto Colony, whispered, "Is he gone?" Aaron nodded. "For now. But we have to keep moving." They were down to 4 now. Aaron, Mara, an old miner named Briggs, and a teenage mechanic, Juno, who hadn't spoken since her brother was dragged away screaming the night before. None of them were soldiers, just colonists and outpost workers. Aaron had military training, but this was beyond tactics. This was survival horror on a scale no simulation had ever prepared him for. They moved silently through the thick brush, careful to avoid trigger vines and motion-sensing drones. Aaron led them toward a ridge overlooking a scorched plateau. He'd seen it the day before. Metal structures in the distance. A central tower. Possibly a control station. Maybe a comms relay. "We reached that tower," he whispered. "We might have a way off this rock." Briggs grunted. "It's where they butcher the winners." Aaron didn't have the strength to argue. They crept forward for hours, dodging patrols and overhead drones. The jungle seemed to close in on them, thick with humidity and buzzing with strange insects. Occasionally, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the trees. Another contestant claimed. The Zarkari's rules were clear. No mercy, no surrender. They wanted fear. They fed on it. At dusk, they found a cave to rest. Aaron set a perimeter alarm with scraps of tech he'd pulled from a drone carcass. It wasn't much, but it was better than nothing. As they huddled around a faint heat emitter, Mara turned to him. "Do you really think someone will come?" Aaron looked down at his wrist link. The signal was still blinking. "I don't know," he said. "But if anyone can, it's her." "Her? My mother," he said quietly. "Commander Helena Voss." Mara raised her eyebrows. "That Helena Voss?" Aaron nodded. "They call her the Iron Widow. But to me, she's just Mom. And if she gets that signal—" He didn't finish the thought. He didn't have to. The look in his eyes said enough. The firelight flickered as the jungle howled beyond. In deep space, aboard the TSS Righteous Fury, a sensor technician frowned. "Ma'am, we just picked up a micro-distress ping. Human signal. Tagged Terran military protocol. 10 years obsolete." Commander Helena Voss rose from her command chair. She hadn't slept in 2 cycles. Location: Outer Varnock Sector. Restricted Zarkari territory. She stepped forward, examining the data. Her hand froze as the source ID blinked on the display. Lieutenant Aaron Voss. Priority code: Omega 5 Sigma. Her son. "Prepare the drop pods," she said calmly. "Set course for Varnock Prime." "Ma'am, that violates 3 interstellar treaties." Helena turned, voice like cold iron. "They took my son. I don't care how many treaties I break." The crew exchanged tense glances. "Arm every weapon. We're going hunting." To be continued. The Mother War Machine. The stars outside the viewport of the TSS Righteous Fury streaked into long white lines as the ship exited faster than light travel. Before them, suspended in the void like a tumor on the edge of civilized space, was Varnock Prime. Commander Helena Voss stood on the bridge, arms folded behind her back, gaze locked on the crimson glowing world. She didn't blink, didn't breathe. Her son was down there. "Report," she barked. Her second-in-command, Captain Ilian Thorn, cleared his throat. "We're in geosynchronous orbit above the Western Hemisphere. No formal defense grid detected, typical of Zarkari leisure worlds. But there's dense atmospheric interference. We'll need to deploy closer to the surface for detailed scans." Helena's lip curled. Of course they hide their filth behind static storms and protocol loopholes. Thorn hesitated. "Permission to speak freely, ma'am?" "Granted. This rescue isn't sanctioned. If you go down there, it could start a war." Helena turned to face him. Her eyes were steel. "Let them come," she said. "Let them send their fleets, their diplomats, their executioners. If they think they can take my son and vanish into shadows, they've forgotten who I am." She stepped forward, triggering a command sequence on the holo console. A 3D projection of Varnock Prime ballooned into view, highlighting terrain clusters, suspected Zarkari hunting camps, and power sources. "Prep a stealth insertion pod. Just me. 1 hour." Thorn's face went pale. "You're going alone? You'll maintain orbit, jam their comms, and be ready for extraction the moment I call. I trained half the commanders in this fleet, Captain. I won't risk any more lives unless I have to." "But ma'am," she faced him squarely, "Aaron is all I have left." Thorn swallowed and saluted. "Understood." 1 hour later, Cargo Bay 6. Helena stood in full combat armor, obsidian black with crimson trim, each piece etched with Terran victory marks. Her rifle was slung across her back, its barrel worn from too many battles. 2 short blades rested on her thighs. An AI core pulsed in her wrist. She activated it. "Athena. Online commander," the AI replied. "Loadout verified. Environment. Hostile. No safe landing zone detected." "I don't need safe. I need fast." The pod door slid open with a hiss. The scent of scorched metal and recycled air hit her. Helena stepped inside. The door sealed. The pod shuttered. Dropping in 10 seconds, Athena confirmed. Helena closed her eyes. She saw Aaron as a child. Mud on his face, a wooden sword in his hand, laughing as he ran through the fields of the Voss homestead. She saw him the night before his first assignment, pretending not to be scared. Her voice had been calm, motherly. "Stay sharp, stay alive, and call if you need me." He hadn't called. Until now. Varnock Prime, surface. The drop pod struck the jungle like a meteor, burrowing deep into the canopy and erupting a shockwave of dirt and shredded foliage. A trio of Zarkari scouts, watching from a cliffside, turned their gaze too late. A blast of plasma fire dropped the first one. A razor-edged blade silenced the second. The third tried to run. Helena sprinted after him like death incarnate. Her boots tore through the mud, her armor deflecting thorn vines and shrapnel. The Zarkari stumbled, turned, raised its weapon. She tackled it full force, pinning it to a boulder. Her blade was at its throat. "Where are the humans?" she demanded. The Zarkari snarled, defiant. Helena drove her knee into its chest. Bones cracked. "I said," she growled. "Where?" The alien's translator choked out a phrase. "Culling grounds, East Quadrant. The boy is marked." She didn't ask what marked meant. She already knew. The favorite prey always got tagged for the elite rounds. She stood, blade slick, and turned toward the jungle. Athena pinged her wrist. Multiple movement signatures. Patrols converging. Let them come. Later, deep in the jungle, Helena perched atop a ridge, eyes scanning through her visor. Below her, nestled in the shadow of a mountain, was a towering Zarkari hunting lodge, walls bristling with alien tech, banners fluttering in the humid wind. She zoomed in. A cage. Dozens of humans. And there, wounded, barely conscious, was Aaron. Helena exhaled, slow and cold. Her son was alive. The Zarkari didn't know it yet, but their sport was over. The hunter had become the hunted. The hunt turns. Rain fell in heavy sheets, hissing against the leaves like whispers from the dead. Lieutenant Aaron Voss lay on the cold metal floor of the holding cage, muscles aching, vision blurred. His wounds were minor, flesh grazes and a cracked rib, but exhaustion clawed deeper. He'd watched 4 more humans dragged away for the next round. None had returned. The Zarkari called it the Grand Culling, a spectacle for their noble houses. The prey who lasted longest were saved for the final event, televised, ritualized execution. He tried to hold the others together, to lead, but he was breaking. Aaron coughed, tasting blood. Across the cage, Mara was wrapping a bandage around a crying woman's leg. Briggs sat near the bars, sharpening a piece of rebar into a makeshift weapon with a flat rock. No one spoke. Then something strange happened. The jungle outside went quiet. No insect hum, no patrols, no distant cries, just silence. 200 meters away, lodge perimeter. Commander Helena Voss moved like a shadow through the treetops, cloaked by night and armor. Her heads-up display painted a digital overlay across the terrain. Enemy locations, structural weak points, motion sensors. Athena's calm voice echoed in her ear. 17 hostiles detected, 6 near the prisoner enclosure. From the tower, remaining patrols scattered. Begin marking targets, Helena said. She was fury wrapped in steel, and she wasn't here to scare them. She was here to end them. A sniper drone hovered overhead. With a single command, Helena took manual control. A green crosshair centered over a Zarkari guard. She pulled the trigger. The alien skull burst in a flash of plasma. Before the corpse hit the ground, Helena was already moving, vaulting from a high branch, blades drawn. She hit the next guard in silence, her blades slicing through its throat. The third tried to turn. Too slow. She left a trail of corpses in her wake, calculated, efficient cold. Then came the explosion. She had planted charges near the northern gate before the drop. With a flick of her wrist, she detonated them. Fire bloomed across the jungle floor. Zarkari alarms howled. Inside the cage, Aaron sat upright, blinking. Did you hear that? Briggs was already on his feet. Explosion. Close. Outside, chaos erupted. Screams. Weapons fire. Someone, was tearing through the compound. Mara looked to Aaron. Is it a rescue team? Aaron's voice was hollow with awe. No, just one. The security gate blew open, and through the smoke strode a figure in jet black armor, red stripes like war paint slashing across her frame. Aaron's heart stopped. Mom! The helmet hissed open. Commander Helena Voss glared down the corridor of cells, plasma, rifle smoking. Lieutenant, she said. Aaron scrambled to his feet, emotions cracking through exhaustion. What? How? Later. We're leaving. She stepped forward and tore the lock open like it was foil. Inside, the surviving humans stared at her like she was a ghost. Helena turned to them. If you want to live, follow me. If you want revenge, arm yourselves. Briggs grinned and grabbed a fallen Zarkari weapon. Hell yes. Upper levels, Zarkari Observation Tower. Chancellor Kareth Vron, the Lodge Master, watched the carnage unfold on the holoscreens. Noble observers shrieked and fled as explosions rocked the fortress. A single human, he bellowed. One of his aides quivered. Not just any human. Commander Voss, the Iron Widow. Kareth's snarl turned into a snort. She violates treaties, slaughters our kin, and expects to escape? Prepare the Huntmasters. She will die like the prey she defends. But even he wasn't convinced. She wasn't prey. She was something else. Back on the ground, Helena led the survivors through the burning compound, gunning down Zarkari with ruthless precision. Aaron stayed close, limping but alert. You came, he murmured. Helena didn't look at him. Of course I came. I raised you to survive, not to die in someone's circus. Mara pulled a rifle from a fallen guard and nodded to Helena. We've got your back, Commander. Helena smirked. Good, because the real fight is still ahead. Behind them, the jungle glowed with fire. Zarkari reinforcements roared into the night, and the humans turned to face them. No mercy for monsters. The jungle burned behind them, painting the sky with pillars of black smoke. Ahead, Through the shattered outer gates of the Zarkari hunting lodge, a roar rose, a challenge, ancient and primal. Commander Helena Voss didn't flinch. She gripped her plasma rifle tighter, eyes scanning the tree line. Her son, Aaron, stood beside her now, bloodied, bruised, but alive. The last of the surviving colonists, a dozen in total, stood behind them, armed with looted alien weapons and stolen armor. Then they appeared. The Huntmasters, 7 Zarkari elites, towering and armored in ceremonial obsidian plate. They moved with the elegance of apex killers, eyes glowing behind mask visors, blades humming with phase energy. The one in front stepped forward. "I'm Torvash of the 3rd Bloodline," he growled, voice echoing through a translator node. "You violate sacred right. You disrupt the culling. This is your sentence." Helena took one step closer. "No," she said coldly. "This is yours." She raised her rifle and fired. The plasma bolt punched a hole clean through Torvash's shoulder. The Huntmaster staggered, then roared, and the rest charged. The final battle begins. Chaos erupted. Aaron dove behind a scorched barricade, taking aim with a salvaged rifle. Mara, moving with soldier's precision now, laid down suppressing fire. Briggs let out a wild battle cry and tackled one of the smaller Zarkari, driving a scavenged blade into its gut. Helena was a storm of vengeance. She danced between attackers, her dual blades flashing. One Huntmaster lunged with a serrated spear. She caught it with her forearm plate and drove her left blade into its throat. Blood sprayed. Another down. Aaron saw his mother in motion and understood the fear she once commanded across half the galaxy. She wasn't just fighting for survival. She was making a statement. Inside the tower, Chancellor Kareth's retreat. High above, in the crumbling lodge tower, Chancellor Kareth Vron watched the feeds turn to static. Flames were licking up the tower's walls. His private guard were long gone. A lone message blinked on his console. "Rescue vessel ETA, 12 minutes. He hissed, retreating toward the hidden lift behind the throne. "Fools! Barbarians! One woman, and you crumble?" He didn't notice the drone slip through the vent behind him. Nor did he hear the countdown begin. Proximity charge armed. 10 seconds. Back on the field. 3 Huntmasters down. 4 to go. Helena's armor sparked with damage, but she pressed on. A massive Zarkari with a war maul charged, swinging like a wrecking ball. Helena ducked, slid under the blow, and unloaded her rifle into its back. It dropped. Then a scream. Helena turned. A Huntmaster had Aaron pinned. "No," she roared, sprinting, but Aaron moved first. With a grunt, he grabbed the phase blade still stuck in his leg and rammed it upward into the alien's jaw. The Huntmaster twitched and collapsed. Helena skidded to him. "You okay?" Aaron winced. "Only one mother. Only one me. Can't lose either." She smiled for the first time in days. Then the lodge exploded. A massive plume of fire erupted as Kareth's tower imploded in a chain reaction. The remaining Huntmasters turned, stunned. Helena took the chance, raising her rifle and firing at the last 2, joined now by her team. The battle ended not with a scream, but with silence. The Zarkari were dead, and the humans were alive. Aftermath. The survivors gathered under the smoking remains of the hunting lodge. Helena sat on a crate, removing her helmet. Her face was marked by soot, sweat, and satisfaction. Aaron limped to her side, supported by Mara. "Rescue teams will arrive within the hour," she said. "My signal's getting through now that their jammers are down." Briggs chuckled. "They'll have quite the report to read." Helena nodded. "They'll try to contain this. Suppress it. Pretend it never happened." Mara frowned. "And if they do, then I'll leak it myself," Helena said. "The galaxy needs to see what the Zarkari really are." Aaron looked at her. "You came all this way for me." She didn't speak for a moment. Then, softly, "I didn't come just for you. I came because they thought they could take what wasn't theirs. Because they think we're weak. I came to remind them." She looked at the sky as a Terran fleet dropped into orbit, shimmering like a wall of justice. "We are never prey.